My fiancé said if you trust me, you don't need a prenup. So I trusted my gut instead and left. Hello Reddit I plus here. I 32M recently called off my engagement with my fiancé 28F. Dana and some of our mutual friends are calling me controlling, paranoid, and an asshole for the way I handled things. Others are saying I dodged a bullet. I'm still processing everything, so I'm turning to Reddit for some perspective. Dana and I met about 2.5 years ago at a mutual friend's engagement party. We clicked instantly. I'm talking full-on whirlwind romance. She was confident, sharp, ambitious, and funny. I dated a bit, had some long-term relationships, but Dana felt different from day one. She made me feel seen, heard, wanted. We moved in together after about 6 months. I know that sounds fast, but it felt natural. We didn't really fight. She made life exciting. She supported my work. I run a small real estate investment business I built from scratch. And she was the first person I ever seriously considered starting a family with. I proposed last year, and she said yes in this beautiful, tear-filled moment at her favorite beach. Everything felt perfect. For a while. When we started planning the wedding, the topic of finances came up. I suggested we consider a prenup, not because I didn't trust her, I explained this carefully, but because I'd worked really hard to build what I had. I don't come from money. I paid my way through school. I've built a decent financial base with rental properties and retirement savings, and I've been through a bad breakup before where I got stuck with almost $9,000 in debt that wasn't even mine. I swore I'd never be that careless again. Dana's reaction was cold, like a switch flipped. She asked why I didn't trust her. She said people only get prenups when they think the marriage is going to fail. She accused me of treating her like a gold digger, which I never said or implied. I told her I was open to discussing terms that were fair to both of us, that I didn't want to make it one-sided or punitive. I just wanted some protection in case things didn't work out, something neither of us would want to deal with, especially if kids were involved. But she kept repeating, if you trust me, you don't need a prenup. We argued about it 2 more times, and each time she doubled down. Eventually she said, if you really trust your gut, then stop preparing for failure and believe in us. Here's the thing, I do trust my gut. And it was screaming at me that something wasn't right. That sentence sat with me for days. I started noticing little things I'd brushed off before. She was always on her phone, but her screen was tilted away from me. She had regular work happy hours, but never mentioned coworkers by name. She logged into my laptop once to print something and forgot to log out of her Gmail. I didn't go looking for anything, I swear. But a few days later, I opened my laptop to do some work, and her Gmail was still signed in. I was about to log out when I saw a name pop up in the inbox. Ryan. Out of curiosity, and yeah, a gut feeling, I clicked. What I found made me sick. There were dozens of emails between her and this guy. From the context, it was clear they weren't just co-workers. They'd been sleeping together for months, even before I proposed. The emails were flirty, sometimes graphic, and filled with inside jokes at my expense. What hit the hardest? One message dated 2 weeks after our engagement said, "Don't worry, I'm not signing anything. I'll get my piece one way or another." I just stared at the screen. I must have reread that line 20 times. I didn't explode. I didn't confront her right away. I needed time to process. I screenshotted the emails, backed them up, and started putting the puzzle together. Turns out, she met Ryan at work. He's in a different department, married, and his name had never come up in any of our conversations. Ever. I confronted her a few days later, told her I'd seen the emails. She didn't deny it, didn't cry, didn't apologize. She just said, "So what now?" I handed her the ring, told her we were done, and I left my own damn apartment for the night to give her space to pack her things. I called off the wedding the next morning. She told our mutual friends that I was manipulative and controlling, and that I didn't believe in love. A few of them took her side and started messaging me stuff like, "You let your ego ruin something beautiful," and "Nobody wants to be married with a contract hanging over their head." One even said, "So she cheated. People make mistakes. You were ready to throw it all away over a document." But to me, it wasn't about the prenup. It was about what her reaction to it revealed. Her refusal to even discuss it was a red flag. Her cheating was the confirmation. And her email, that disgusting little sentence about getting her piece, proved this wasn't just a lapse in judgment. It was a plan. I trusted my gut. I trusted my instincts when her words didn't match her behavior. And yeah, I probably saved myself a lifetime of legal and emotional hell, but now I'm stuck here wondering, Ayata for walking away instead of trying to work through it. Was I unreasonable to even suggest a prenup? Should I have handled it differently? Reddit I+, I'm open to all judgments. I just want to know, AITA for refusing to marry my fiancée because she said, if you trust me, you don't need a prenup. And then I found out she'd been cheating on me the whole time. After I confronted Dana and gave her time to leave, I went back to the apartment the next day. She was still there. She hadn't packed. She was sitting on the couch with a half-empty bottle of wine, calm as ever, scrolling on her phone. She didn't even look surprised to see me. She told me I was being dramatic, that everyone cheats, that no one actually stays faithful forever, that her thing with Ryan wasn't emotional and didn't mean anything. Then she pivoted, said I blindsided her with the prenup talk and pushed her away, that if I just let the conversation go, she wouldn't have needed to look for validation somewhere else. I didn't yell. I didn't get emotional. I just said, you didn't make a mistake. You made a plan, and you tried to gaslight me into thinking I was the problem. Then I asked her again to leave. She laughed and said, you're not going to find anyone better than me. You'll regret this. 2 days later, she moved out. Or rather, her sister and 2 friends came and got her stuff. She didn't even come back herself. I sent an email with the screenshots and a very brief message to Ryan's wife. I debated that one. It wasn't revenge. I just thought she deserved to know what kind of man she was married to. She responded the next day and said she had suspected something but didn't have proof until now. She thanked me. That was it. I haven't heard from her since. I blocked Dana on everything after that. She tried texting me a few times, weird cryptic stuff like, you didn't have to ruin both our lives. Hope you're proud of how cold you are. Still think the prenup mattered now? I didn't respond to any of them. Her friends kept up their harassment for a little while, but the screenshots made their way around. I didn't send them. I want to be clear about that. But someone did. Suddenly, all the "you were controlling" messages stopped. A few even apologized, saying they had no idea what was really going on. And now I'm sitting in a quiet apartment that feels like mine again. I've been seeing a therapist, which has been helping a lot. I'm starting to sleep again, starting to eat like a human being again. I'm rebuilding. Not just my trust in others, but my trust in myself. That gut feeling saved me. That prenup conversation, awkward as it was, turned out to be a gift in disguise. It forced a mask off that I probably wouldn't have seen for years. But man, it still stings. I wasn't just betrayed, I was played. The engagement, the moving in, the dreams we talked about, it all feels tainted now. And it's not even the cheating that cuts the deepest. It's that line in the email, I'll get my peace one way or another. That was the real her. And I'm still grieving the version of her I thought existed. So no, I don't think I was the asshole, but I also don't feel like I won. I just escaped. For anyone reading this who's in a relationship and feels that tug in your gut when something doesn't sit right, please listen to it. Ask the hard questions. Don't be afraid to protect what you've worked for. Love and trust aren't supposed to come with strings or ultimatums. And if someone tells you, if you trust me, you don't need a prenup, what they might actually be saying is, I'm hoping you're too in love to protect yourself. Thanks again, Reddit I+.